Vanguard Zombies has finally revealed their final map, the Archon, and the crowd went mild.
Here is our final Zombies map, the Archon.
I kind of feel bad for kicking Vanguard Zombies. This whole thing was kind of thrown off Treyarch's lap last minute, but I got over it. This game blows mega hard. And with all this going around, it kind of got me thinking, how did we get here? And I think this all started with a little game called Black Ops 4. Let me explain. No, don't get me wrong, I actually really like Black Ops 4. It has some pretty awesome maps. Alpha, Omega, and 9 are my personal favorites, but it kind of started this trend that perpetuated into the next Call of Duty Zombies, and that is reusing old content. Classified, Blood of the Dead, and Tag der Toten. They're all remakes of old maps with new areas and aesthetics and quests. This in and of itself isn't too heinous. I mean, like I said, Alpha Omega, it's one of my favorite maps. And Classified and Tag are great maps as well. And Blood. It's a map. Listen, when it comes to Blood, I like the map as a map, but when it comes to that Easter egg and like the quests to get everything, it's a bit of a pain.
I hate this. I don't think the map is bad. Obviously, I prefer Mob of the Dead. But this Easter egg is... some cheeks, as kids say.
Moving on, fast forward to Cold War, and at the launch we have D Machine, a Nocturne Toten remake, improved gunplay, a new perk system, and other additions that I grew to like. I'd say it had a pretty good launch. Not the best, but good. I mean, Black Ops 4 launched with 4 whole maps with the same development time, but hey, who's counting, am I right? And now we get to Cold War DLCs, and they repurpose campaign maps. Forsaken, you know, the last map of this Call of Duty, the one where like previous Call of Duties go out with a bang, even if like the story, you know, Black Ops 4 gets a lot of hate, I understand that, but Tag der Toten, they went out with a bang, I'd say. You know, they gave it their all, and in this game, the bang we got was a reused campaign map in Forsaken. Wonderful.
Keep an eye on that checkpoint. Kraus will be coming through anytime.
Find Agent Maxis. Recover any intel you can from the base. Ravenoff, my team's reached the village. Where are you? I am in a secured room.
Okay, I think I made my point. See, my problem with Cold War maps and Vanguard maps as well, even though Vanguard has a whole heap of other problems with it.
So you have an inferior gameplay loop, a lack of progression, you're railroaded on points, the customization's gone. Is anything else better?
Not really.
It's that the maps don't really have a heart. I don't think I'm alone when I say Cold War Zombies is good, but it doesn't exactly feel like Call of Duty Zombies, if you know what I mean. In the words of Codename Pizza, Cold War didn't have that spark that Zombies once had. The Zombies community was pretty mixed on Black Ops 4 Zombies, but there is no denying that those maps had heart. They were inspired. Even past Zombies map that I hate, like Zetsubo and Transit. God damn it, I hate that map.
He shouldn't be here. It's all around.
We get it, Diego. He should be here, but is he? Is he? I can acknowledge that they had inspiration and work put into them, but Cold War maps, maybe excluding D Machine, I mean, that was their launch map. That would have had the most time put into it, but all the other maps, they all feel hollow, like the map was made first and they tried to fit in their story into it after, which is exactly what they did, because they're all campaign maps. Every other Call of Duty Zombies map has a narrative purpose for existing. They make the story first, and they create an interesting map to fit the environment and the story. But Cold War was the opposite. Then there's the story. Fun fact, in preparation for this video, I replayed the campaign, redid the Easter eggs in Cold War, watched an hour-long video on Cold War's story because I honestly didn't know what the hell was going on. The video was from MrRoflWaffles, by the way, so yeah, big thanks. And after all of that, I still don't find the zombies story compelling or interesting in any way. And if you're wondering why, allow me to summarize the previous zombie stories for you, just to put everything into perspective. Black Ops 1, we have Richtofen methodically plotting to take over the world. We go on adventures with our crew through time and literal space, which culminates in Richtofen achieving his plan and Maxis destroying the Earth as a countermeasure. This is where we're introduced to, well, no, I guess World at War. World at War didn't really have a story, but you know. But that was baby's first steps in zombies, alright? Relax. We had the Ultimus crew, you know, they were funny.
Okay, that did the trick.
Ah, yes. Takeo, can you hand me that screwdriver?
Richtofen was pretty deep, you know, he was the main character, I guess, for this part of zombies. Takeo was a close second. And then we had, like, they were all humorous characters, you know. They're fun. It was cool seeing them interact with the environment around them, which is something that is lost in Cold War, I might add. Anyways, Black Ops 2. We have the fallout of Black Ops 1. A group we now know as Victus, trying to survive in the hellscape that was made by Maxis when he blew up the Earth, now has Richtofen and Maxis both trying to influence their decisions, taking them to locations across the world, concluding with either Richtofen becoming a god.
Finally, I am in control! The ether is mine to manipulate as I wish! The moon is now my own personal plaything! What have you done? I've won, Maxis! That's what I've done! As for you, Maxis, you will simply cease to be! I'll be the bad tutor! No!
Literally able to warp reality on some Wanda Maximoff type shit. Or canonically, I guess, we can open the rift, you know, which leads into Origins. We do that from Maxis' side, and then Maxis ends up destroying the world. So, fun.
The process has begun. Now I control the ether's energy. I can at last reach Agatha. Ah, you fools! Why did you listen to him? Regretfully, I must inform you that neither the Earth nor its people will survive.
Black Ops 3, the peak of zombies in all facets. Fight me. I still stand by what I said. Moving on. Like, literally the only thing that can make that game better is if you put Cold War's gunplay into Black Ops 3. That's about it. Alright, if you literally brought Black Ops 3 to PS5, maybe up the graphics and then put Cold War's gunplay, boom, that would be the best zombies game ever. But moving on. In that game, we also travel across the world and through dimensions, I think? I don't know. I couldn't really nail that one down. But we travel across planes of existence. We travel across the world to acquire the souls of the Ultimus characters to purify them in the house. We also make a pit stop in Mob for some good old drinking blood. That game ends in Revelations, a collage of many fan favorite maps across the zombies timeline. It's a good bit of fan service, not gonna lie. And it's a pretty good map. Then we beat the Shadow Man, we outsmart Dr. Monty, and we're sent back to the Great War. All tied up in a little bow, and we all live happily ever after. The end. Until Treyarch said, "Fuck, the zombie story is making us a lot of money, we can't just end it here," and made Black Ops 4 with two different stories. One I will get to later. Anyways, the Primus crew are back, and this time they're going to break the cycle and, oh, okay, maybe not Takeo, but they're going to break the cycle and close off the Dark Ether for good this time. Ending in Tag der Toten, where Nikolai has the Victus crew assemble the Agarthan device, which is used to resolve the paradox in the multiverse, officially closing off the Dark Ether. Nikolai kills both Ultimus and Primus crew, leaving us with just one loose end remaining.
Look away, Eddie.
think about it. Wherever I go, you know I'll be kicking ass.
The end. Until it wasn't, because it never ends. Now compare those stories to you play as a group of randos closing off portals to the Dark Ether, which, you know, I kind of thought we already did, you know, twice. But hey, they got to continue the story somehow, right? Instead of, you know, continuing the one they already started in the last game that was doing great. Samantha gets stuck in the ether and becomes Captain Marvel. And you remember that rando that was shown for like 30 seconds in one of the cutscenes at the beginning of the game? Well, yeah, he's the big bad. All right, he's the Forsaken. All right, that just some rando that apparently, you know, hey, here he's back. 40 years in the Aether equals 400 years, and apparently that makes him on Shadow Man's level, even though like Shadow Man existed from the beginning of time. Yeah, he's here. He's our big bad. He's a big crystal monster. You know, for some reason in this game, Treyarch got a real hard on for crystal monsters, because wasn't Valentina also a crystal monster for some reason? We had the crystal axe and there was just a bunch of crystals everywhere. I mean, I get it. You know, before you comment, the crystals, they're the dark Ethereum. They're what the whole game is based around. We're there to get it and whatever. It's this game's 115, but they didn't want to call it 115 for some reason. But still, lay off on the crystals, Treyarch. Oh yeah, and Kravchenko is here. He kind of does nothing. I mean, I guess he captures our crew and sends us to Mauer, but like, that's about it. And then he kind of dies. Oh yeah, and this might be connected to the campaign. And now we come to Vanguard. I don't think I'm making any big, brave, controversial opinions when I come out and say, Vanguard zombies, it's the fucking pits, all right? The dirt worst, the drizzling shits of zombies by far, the worst zombies experience I've ever played. I couldn't even get through an hour of it without wanting to puke. The first game that I wouldn't even want if it was free, as I just recently found out when I played it when it was free. I think we should play a game that's actually fun.
I agree. I'm on this right away.
Yeah, this game fucking blows. I went in this with low expectations, and you know, I went into the Emoji Movie with low expectations, and I was pleasantly surprised. It was a good movie, I'll say. All right, I'll go to as far as to say it was a good movie. And this was worse than I thought. I hate this, and I don't think I'm actually uninstalling it right now.
That's what I did.
Nah. I don't care about the trial. I don't even want it for free. All right. And yeah, it's just as bad as I thought. It was horrible. And I wish I can get that hour and however many minutes back I played on that game. Gameplay bugs, lack of content, and stability issues aside, the story literally doesn't matter. This game doesn't need to exist. I'm guessing in, what was this map's name? The Archon? I think that's what it's called. I don't feel like scrolling up. In the Archon, I'm guessing it's leading to the god Cortifex. And yes, I did also watch a video on Vanguard Zombie Story because I'm not playing that game.
Oh, no. No, I'm not playing it. No, no.
So Cortifex is going to be devoured by Zykov, and that's going to lead to him becoming the Forsaken in Cold War. And exactly why should I care? We already killed him. Why do we need backstory? More backstory. We already got his backstory. He was Zykov. He was that guy in the cutscene who was Rando Man number 34 in that cutscene that we saw. Why do we need a whole game dedicated to this backstory that ultimately doesn't matter? We already got him. We know how it ends. The whole story of Vanguard Zombies feels like it could have been told in one map that they could have added to Cold War. You know, instead of making this whole Duran Fong, Terra Maledictus, and Shinonuma and the Archon, they could have just made one map for Cold War, you know, Map Pack 5, who cares? And there you go. There's the prequel series that you wanted if you want to know more about the Forsaken, you know, if you care about that. Instead of stretching it out, just stretching all this out over one game. It feels like the Hobbit series. You know, it was a children's book and they decided to stretch it over 3 movies. That was completely unnecessary. And I know what some of you guys are thinking, but Angel, the content is free now. You can't expect them to make a Shadows of Evil quality map for free. To that I say, first of all, what are you doing in my house? And second of all, then don't make them free. I would rather pay $50 for a season pass for 4 future zombies maps of quality, of higher quality, even if they aren't my type. You know, even if they're not my cup of tea. Like, let's take Dead of the Night, for example. I don't particularly like that map, but I don't really feel ripped off about it because I can see the effort. That map is beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful map, and there's so much to do in that map. I can recognize that, hey, this map might not be for me, but I can tell they put effort into it. You know, they put effort into the side quests, the map itself, the looks, the aesthetics. The characters are all quirky, you know, they all have their personality types. The wolf boss, even though I don't like that map too much, is still one of my favorite mid-round bosses. I don't know what you would call it. I guess I'm gonna just call them bosses. It's still one of my favorite bosses ever. I forgot where I ranked it on my tier list. It should either be S. No, I think I ranked it top of A because that's a really cool design. I love that Wolfman model.
I think the werewolf is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I do as well. It's a cool design. It's a cool boss. At the end of the day, they're bullet sponges, but I don't know. I like how they jump around and stuff. They're big. They're really big, actually. I'd put it in A tier for a map that I don't like at all. And see, even though I don't like that map, I still have 8 other maps to play, as opposed to like Cold War, where if you don't like one map, you're probably not gonna like any of them because they're all about the same. Do you want to play in the military base that's in the desert? Do you want to play in the military base that's in the snow? Do you want to play in the military base that's under a city? Do you want to play in the military base that's in Russia, I think? Which military base do you want to play in? Those are your choices in Cold War. A little bit from Future Deadpool here. Treyarch just released a few pictures from the Archon, and guess what? It looks exactly like Terra Maldicta. Wow. So much so that I bet you didn't even know that the names were switched. So in Cold War, we have a bunch of military bases for maps, and in Vanguard, we have the sepia tone maps, and then on the contrast, we have Duran Fong and Shinonuma looking very similar, as in they're extremely dark and gloomy. They have a little bluish tinge, you know. The other 2 maps, they have a sepia tone tinge with a bunch of, you know, like khaki rocks everywhere. And these 2 maps, they're very dark and, you know, swampy, even though there isn't a swamp in Duran Fong, I think. But yeah, just figured I'd point that out. Meanwhile, Black Ops 4, you know, the COD Zombies experience that was widely regarded as the worst when it came out. We have a map where you play on the literal Titanic, the one of history. We have an ancient gladiatorial arena. You know, we went back in time into these past ancestors' bodies and fought in gladiator combat against zombies. We have the Pentagon, which I guess you could argue is a military base. I'll give you that. And then we have Blood of the Dead, a prison, Alcatraz, the most infamous prison of all, which is also in hell. And that's all the launch maps. I haven't even gotten into the rest of the DLCs. So let's look at the digital deluxe version of Black Ops 4. It released at about $99, I think, which, yeah, that's pretty expensive, but it comes with the season pass. You know, you get all those maps on launch. You get 4 maps on launch, and then you get the 4 extra DLC maps. And of course, I'm leaving multiplayer out of this equation because I've never really been a multiplayer guy. But you know, if you're into that, there's more value there. Now let's look at Vanguard's Ultimate Edition, which is also $99. It includes a cross-gen bundle. So PS4, PS5, you know, you could play across the generation, and same with Xbox One and Series X, you could play across those generations as well. Task Force 1 pack. I don't know what that is. 3 operator skins, 3 weapon bundle blueprints with tracer rounds, 1 season battle pass plus 20 tier skips, 10 hours of double XP, 5 hours of double XP, and 5 hours of weapon XP. Digital exclusive frontline weapon pack. So that apparently is equal in value to Black Ops 4's Digital Deluxe Edition, which was also $99. They was the same price, yet you get less for it. Less quality, at least, I would say. Because I'm pretty sure Black Ops 4's Digital Deluxe Edition also came with like a bunch of random crap like COD points and skins and shit that I don't need. But my point is, you're paying the same price for less, which I guess you could say about everything nowadays, you know, if I want to get political. But in video games, really, just the effort and the creativity just isn't there anymore. It's sad to say, really. The reason I say right now is that I still have a little bit of hope, you know, maybe I'm high on copium, who knows, that with what's happening to Vanguard right now, how it's getting a thorough ass kicking by the fandom, it kind of whips Treyarch into shape a little bit, you know? I don't think the fan base should have to tolerate half-ass zombies content and half-finished games, which honestly can extend to all AAA titles. Off the top of my head, Halo, Battlefield, Cyberpunk. Honestly, I think one of the few games that have released without bugs recently is Stray, the cat game, you know? Listen, I know I mostly just stuck to like overall blandness and story reasons why Vanguard was ass, but let me get this straight. Vanguard is way worse than you think it is. If you've never played Vanguard, keep it that way. You're better off for it, because this game is nothing, all right? Nothing. The way Zombies is going about their gameplay as a whole is a step in the wrong direction as well. They kind of, with Outbreak and Cold War, they've been leaning towards this battle royale type game mode into Zombies. They've been trying to implement that crap and it's just not working. You know, keep battle royale as into battle royale and just leave Zombies as Zombies. Like, I don't think Zombies needed this kind of change. You know, I understand trying to innovate. You know, we can't just play the same thing forever. If we were, we would still be playing World at War. So I understand change can be a good thing, but this kind of change isn't good. You know, there are some people who liked Outbreak, you know, fine. There's some people who like Vanguard, you know, that's fine. Like what you like, more power to you. But it's not my cup of tea, and it's not a lot of people's cup of tea. And they keep trying to implement it into Duran Fang and Terra Maldictus, which is probably one of the worst maps I've ever seen. I haven't played it and I'm not going to, but you have to do an Easter egg just to be able to play round-based, which the Easter egg in and of itself is dog shit. Imagine that. I feel like that in and of itself puts it below Transit and Blood of the Dead when it comes to Easter eggs. All right, I was freaking miserable doing the Transit Easter egg, but I still did it. And you know what? I might even want to do it again someday. But Terra Maldicta, I have no interest in playing that game at all because of that concept. And then we come to Shinonuma, the only map I played in Vanguard. I'm not going to play Duran Fang either. I already know I'm going to hate it. I didn't like Outbreak, and I'm not going to like Duran Fang. But Shinonuma, it was a good map in Black Ops 1. That's when I first played it. It's a good map in World at War. I think we recently played that with Chris and Tony. But Vanguard, I don't get how you mess up a map that bad, you know? Like, it's just ass. Like, I don't know what it is about it. Just Vanguard, everything it touches turns to ass. And you know what's funny? That's probably going to be the best map in that game. I know what you guys are saying, but Angel, the Archon hasn't come out. You don't know if it's not going to be better. I promise you. I bet you 2 hot and spicies at McDonald's. It's not going to be better, and it's just going to be more of the same crap. But hey, when the trailer comes out for that map, I'll definitely react to it. And if I'm wrong, I don't have a problem with eating my words. All right. But see, this is why Vanguard kind of hits on a different kind of level. These game devs knowingly put this out there and thought we would like it. What were they thinking? Like they thought they could hand us shit on a platter and we would just eat it. Well, that's also why Vanguard Zombies just strikes a new low in my eyes when it comes to video game development as a whole. Treyarch didn't have much time to work on it, but like, just don't do it then. You know, leave the game mode out, don't release it. Limited development time probably wouldn't have saved this game anyways, because they were already going this whole battle royale Duran Fang type game mode bullshit. So if they would have had more time, they would have just polished that, and then now we have polished shit instead of regular shit. The lack of a pause button, and you know, the various stability issues. This game crashes like around round 25 for a lot of people, and it's freaking crazy. I think Treyarch heard the community's criticism when it came to Cold War and the characters not talking, so they tried to replace it with those gods, except they didn't take into account that they would talk over each other, which is the most annoying shit ever. When I played it for the first time, I had to mute them. I had to mute all dialogue because the people on the radio are talking to you. The gods are talking to you. And then your characters randomly, you know, they don't talk, but they just, you know, reloading. They do all that crap. And it just gets overwhelming. Like, I couldn't even hear Chris for a little bit because, like, everybody was talking over each other. And I was just like, all right, one of you guys are going to shut up and I choose the game. All right. There's one in the dormitory on a bedside. Would you shut the f up? Okay, I'm silencing their dialogue.
You do that?
I don't care at all. Okay. And like those characters are supposed to be relaying, you know, what's happening, the story. And how are you supposed to get any of it if all they're doing is talking over each other? And how the best way to enjoy that game is by muting them. You know, then there's no story. You can't get any story because they're annoying. All right, future Deadbolt here. I'm in the middle of editing Phasmophobia right now. It's a great game, unlike this one. And I see the Archon comes out and people have already finished the Easter egg. So I go and I see a bunch of people talking about, oh, the cutscene is so great. The cutscene is so great. And my God, there is no cutscene. Can you believe that? You know, I thought maybe they'd show the Forsaken, you know, eating the freaking Cordyceps, but nope, they couldn't even be bothered for that. You know, that just makes this game that much more pointless. It's crazy looking back on Black Ops 4 and how people were going apeshit over Toten ending in one of those like hand-drawn, sort of animated, sort of not cutscenes, you know, instead of having a CGI cutscene. You know, they were like, oh, it shows a lack of quality in a way because, you know, they couldn't go all out for that cutscene. But Vanguard managed to top that too. My God, you try to give them the benefit of the doubt and they somehow leave you with even, they can't even reach your low expectations. That's so crazy, dude. That is so crazy. I feel bad for anybody who bought this game legitimately and expected to have a great time, great storytelling, you know, game developers that care, because, oh, this must be a huge slap in the face for you. My God, I feel bad, honestly. This game needs to be discounted to like $5 at best. All right, there's no way this game is worth $60. It's not worth $70, and it's definitely not worth $99, that's for sure. But I do hope that one day Treyarch returns to their former glory. You know, I don't know if they'll ever achieve the heydays of Black Ops 3, but one can hope. One can suck on that copium gas as much as possible in hopes that one day they'll whip it back into gear. But the way gaming is heading as a whole, who knows? But that's my little rant over. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know. This is my first like video essay type thing I've ever done, and I kind of want to do more on different topics. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, everybody. Bye-bye.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Casamigos to the face, baby, I don't need